So we've pretty much just finished wallpaper stripping the main bedroom in my parents' bungalow renovation. So we thought we'd actually sleep in here last night as well, so excuse the bed hair. But I thought I'd just put a few of my top tips on using a wallpaper stripper, because I've done it before in our first house and I actually really enjoyed it, but it does speed things along. But you've got to be careful with a few things, so yeah, keep on watching if you want to just try and stay safe. So here's the Earlex wallpaper stripper that I've owned for quite a few years, although this is my second one because the first one set alight, so definitely do your research on which one you want to buy. And the first tip I would recommend while the steamer is warming up is to either score the wallpaper, or in this case, I'm just going over the top, scraping off the high peaks of the wood chip wallpaper. And so by the time I do come to steam it, the steam should penetrate through the wallpaper. Another thing that you'll need to do while it's heating up is have the steamer facing upwards, not downwards to possibly ruin your floorboards. And I found this bucket really useful just to contain it and keep it safe from pets. It's also really messy work. So if you've got carpets down, you probably want to put some sheets down as well. And I know a few of you said on Instagram recently that you don't use wallpaper strippers because it can damage plaster. Something that I like to do is hold the steamer with one hand and scrape with the other. So I've got a system going and I'm not holding the steamer in one area for too long a time. But if you do take chunks of plaster off while you're ripping the paper off, then don't worry too much. There's plenty of videos out there how you can patch up the plaster work. Now for those who don't have a wallpaper stripper, because back in 2014 I didn't have one, I'd use a bucket of soapy water and apply with a sponge. But some of you have also said to use washing up powder, and I can imagine that taking it off really quickly as well because there's enzymes in it to break stuff down. Another method that I've also done in the past is using a spray bottle. And of course, if you want to speed up the process, why don't one of you do the steaming and the other one scrape? And this is exactly what me and my mum did when we had some spare time together.
Leave Mommy alone, come.
The other thing is you've got to be really careful around sockets. I did trip the electrics in our first house because the water did drip towards a plug. So when it comes to ceilings, you've got to be even more careful because obviously as the steam clings to the ceiling, it also drips. So here I'm wearing goggles. I don't want anything to drip into my eyes. I'm wearing long sleeves for as long as I can take it, although I didn't last long because it is sweaty work. But I generally find this is an area where it's more likely to pull off in larger chunks. That's the best part of it. And be careful around the lights. And don't forget, wear really good shoes, and it gets really slippy on that top step. Also, another one that might be obvious, when your steamer has run out of water, turn it off immediately, and then you can fill it up and start again. I wouldn't want to trust the auto turn off just in case, especially after my first one set alight years ago. And if you've got any tips yourself that I haven't covered, please mention them below and hopefully it will help other people to do the job safely.
Cross your fingers. My fingers.